Today on Investigate TV Plus, when you need critical help, every second matters.
911, what's your emergency?
Our investigation reveals some 911 calls are going unanswered.
Hold on. What's going on?
My husband, I think he's dead.
An in-depth look at what's behind the wait times and the consequences.
These are the people that are supposed to help save you, and they're just not available.
Plus, how doctors are using artificial intelligence to improve patient care.
It's not telling us what to do, it's just giving us some guidelines.
Then she's the real deal.
How's everybody doing today?
Really good.
I hope y'all had a good time.
How this captain is sharing her love of the ocean with others.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
What's your emergency?
You hope you never have to use 911, but if you do, you expect help immediately.
That's not what's happening in some cases across the country. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. We found some people are dialing the emergency line only to be left on hold.
Investigative reporter Kristen Crowley takes a closer look at the failures of 911 and what's being done to fix it.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Oh my God, 114.
If the woman making this 911 call sounds frustrated,
Okay, hold on. What's going on?
My husband, I think he's dead on the floor.
it's because she is.
These are the people that are supposed to help save you, and they're just not available.
Her husband, Robert Van Pelt, who had a known heart condition, wasn't breathing.
And I looked down and saw him on the floor, and he screamed at her immediately, call 911.
Their daughter, Morgan, called for help.
What happened when you called 911?
It put me on a hold where it was like, someone will be with you shortly. Please don't hang up. I was like, I can't believe they just put me on hold.
A recording.
Please do not hang up.
Not a person.
This is the 911 emergency line.
Answered her 911 call.
I told her to hang up and try again. And I thought, well, maybe she got caught in some weird Twilight loop or something.
You thought
know?
it was a mistake?
Yeah.
It wasn't a mistake.
Please do not hang up.
They heard the same message again.
What did you think when you heard that recording on 911?
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know it was possible to get a recording.
911, in my opinion, shouldn't have any weight.
That's Portland's Bureau of Emergency Communications Director Bob Kazi, who says in 2018, most of its calls were answered within about 10 seconds. Today, the average wait time is 50 seconds. An issue he says started in 2021 as the pandemic and protests led to increased call volume and staff burnout. Portland 911 communications records say from the time Robert's family made their first call to the time a dispatcher picked up, it was about 3.5 minutes. But 911 calls should be answered in seconds.
It's very important that call processing times are minimal.
NENA, the National Emergency Number Association, sets this standard. 90% of 911 calls answered within 15 seconds. 95% should be answered within 20 seconds. April Hines works for NENA and says some centers reach that benchmark. It just doesn't know how many.
911 in general is considered a local entity. There is no federal entity that tracks those numbers.
But there's evidence this is a problem. The examples come from everywhere.
And I thought, it can't be busy because it's 911, They're not supposed to ever be busy.
I tried for probably over 30 minutes to get a 911 operator.
When you're on hold and when you can't get through for 30, 40 minutes an hour and somebody's literally dying.
In St. Louis, this woman died waiting for help after a tree fell on top of her and her car. The city said a dangerous storm led to a surge of 911 calls that was difficult to keep up with. But over in Kansas City, Missouri, in Quentin Lucas's case,
it was a weekday, middle of the day. This was not Saturday night.
Lucas nearly lost his mother.
My mother collapses in the front yard. My sister finds her and does what every person's been trained to do. She calls 911 and she gets a message saying, "You've called 911, please hold, please don't hang up."
This issue has been a constant problem.
News of their roughly 4-minute hold time made headlines.
Terrifying and unacceptable.
Because Lucas isn't just any Kansas City resident.
All right, Jazzy, we did it.
Quentin Lucas is the mayor.
Maybe there was fate that made it so the mayor's mother was one who was implicated. And fortunately, she's alive today. But I am going to make sure not only that we come to a quick solution in Kansas City, but that hopefully for every other American city, we are the template of how we do better.
After our interview, Kansas City approved a $1.5 million upgrade to its 911 system. It's also looking to take over operations instead of using the regional system that runs it now. But infrastructure and management are just one piece of 911's problems.
The vast majority of the time you start to see these long hold times is due to staffing shortages.
911.gov says a survey of 48 states found more than half of 911 centers face a staffing crisis in every region, in every state surveyed. That's part of the issue in Portland, where it had 25 vacancies toward the end of 2023.
Hi, this is Charlotte 911.
Recently, with the help of higher salaries, hiring bonuses, and part-time options, Charlotte Police increased its telecommunications staffing from 105 in 2022 to 131 in 2023. Since then, the percentage of 911 calls answered within 10 seconds jumped from 67% to 72%.
When people are in a community where they are experiencing long hold times waiting for 911, what's the solution for that?
The agency having jurisdiction that funds the 911 center, and you need to let them know that this is a problem. They are going to have to make the choices on how they're going to staff, if they're going to staff more, have more staffing.
Changes that come too late for Candace and Morgan.
I never thought I would have seen my dad die, especially at such a young age.
Robert, they said, likely died before they even got a chance to call 911. But they wish they didn't have to wonder, what if? And they hope no one else has to go through that.
The point is that no matter the situation, we should be able to call 911 and then pick up the phone.
In an effort to reduce 911 wait times, in January 2024, the FCC sent new rules for wireless phone carriers, requiring what's called location-based routing, which allows 911 dispatchers to pinpoint a caller's exact location. Before the new regulations, dispatch would receive the location of the nearest cell tower and then have to determine the caller's exact location, which often required more time and resources. The FCC says getting the caller's precise location will result in millions more people connecting with emergency responders without the need for transfers or delay.
Another effort some states are taking to try and reduce hold times, upgrading 911 to a system called Next Generation 911.
It's a digital system, unlike the older analog one, that can also get text messages, photos, and videos.
Next Generation 911 is already available in 11 states.
Portland is piloting new artificial intelligence to its non-emergency dispatch lines.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
The program comes as the city's 911 bureau says calls have increased 40% since 2018.
Our staff is looking forward to it because a lot of the burden that they face is recognizing the number of calls that are waiting in the queue. They can see it. That's frustrating to them because they don't get a break between calls.
The technology determines if people calling the non-emergency line actually need to be connected to a dispatcher or get transferred to a different service in the city.
From the dispatch center to the operating room, artificial intelligence is proving it can save lives. We reveal how AI is impacting the medical field and patient care.
Plus, a new kind of Friday night lights.
Esports is a relatively new aspect of athletics.
We show you how the video gaming industry has come a long way since the first Nintendo and how high schools are taking notice. The U.S. faces a critical doctor shortage.
It's a problem that's only expected to get worse in the future. In fact, by 2034, there could be a shortfall of as many as 124,000 physicians in both primary and specialty care.
Industry experts say the large shortfall comes from burnout during the pandemic and an aging workforce reaching retirement age. As hospitals face staffing shortages, a new tool you've probably heard of is being used across the country. Here's a look at how the healthcare industry is using artificial intelligence to fill a workforce gap and improve patient care.
It just helps to give me another option.
While Cherise Chambers plans for her wedding, she's also planning ahead for her future family by freezing her eggs through in vitro fertilization, or IVF.
We want to go to that practice that is thinking outside of the box. I think AI is just one of those ways that we can do that.
She sought out Dr. Corinne Frew.
If you can select the best sperm to then inject into each mature egg, that equals higher fertilization rates.
Dr. Frew says AI does not replace an embryologist. It's a tool to help them do their jobs.
Hello there. How are we doing?
A sentiment this dentist echoes after he started using AI at his practice in Toledo, Ohio.
It's simply a tool. It's not telling us what to do. It's just giving us some guidelines. It's giving us a roadmap to say, hey, maybe you want to double check something. Maybe you want to look here a little further. We've got a pretty large cavity over here.
This machine is called Overjet. The tool, cleared by the FDA, provides exact measurements of decay and bone loss, clearly highlighting what the eye can miss.
A lot of times, things are really small that the human may not be able to detect, or sometimes the monitor on your screen may not have the correct contrast. And so what this tool does is it highlights those spots.
The x-rays are also color-coded, making it easier to show a patient what's happening in their mouth.
This tool is really to help kind of create better communication.
At Texas Tech University in Lubbock, artificial intelligence isn't just helping doctors' workloads. Burn surgeon Dr. John Griswold says it could be the answer for patients with the most serious diagnosis.
This particular program helps us look through all of the patients that we have and find patients that might benefit from some of the cutting-edge programs and clinical trials we have, cutting-edge drugs that they might need for their cancer or their heart failure.
Ordinarily, searching for the right patient means searching through paperwork, checking area clinics, and calling healthcare providers.
It's a very tedious process, and we know we're missing people who could benefit so much from many of these programs.
With HIPAA rules in place, a program called Deep 6 identifies patients who could benefit from new treatments.
Deep 6 AI will help us look within just a click of a button for patients who might be candidates so that we can approach them and see if they're interested.
Saving patients precious time.
And these patients may have to wait 7-10 years for them to be available. Now they can participate in these programs and get the benefit of those drugs, and many times it's free.
Whether it's fighting an aggressive disease or planning for the future, these doctors agree AI is a new tool that could have the power to revolutionize the medical field.
We think that this is the next thing that needs to happen, and the more efficiencies we can build into the system, the better.
Still ahead, she's hooked on sharing her love of fishing.
This is my 57th year.
We'll introduce you to the woman teaching families to fish and inspiring them to have fun.
Plus, if you think your kids spend too much time on the Xbox, you should meet the professionals. How esports is allowing video gamers to take their careers to the next level, and we take you to high schools getting in on the competition. In 2024, your idea of a video gamer is leveling up. Today, gaming isn't just for fun, it's a competitive sport.
It's just like football and basketball in the fact that we have the primary goal of winning.
Esports drawing in millions of fans around the world. According to Riot Games, the 2021 League of Legends World Championship garnered a peak viewership of 74 million people. To help put that in perspective, the peak viewership for the Super Bowl that same year was about 92 million.
This is a viable alternative to traditional sports for a lot of people.
cementing its place in popular culture.
This is a validation of the hobby and the passion that I had when I was a kid that, frankly, I was kind of ostracized for.
The growing esports industry isn't just entertaining, it's becoming a real career option for athletes, esports broadcasters, and game developers.
Many colleges now offer esports courses and some even a bachelor's degree.
Reporter Heather Graff shows us what's possible when you hit start on a career in esports and introduces us to the students already taking an interest.
All right.
With his controller in hand,
All my life, I've been competing in something.
Stephen Schmidt has control of his future.
I've always kind of wondered what I could do in this game.
No longer limited to the idea of pushing pencils.
Looking back in my life and wondering, what could I have done? Could I have been the best? What was my limit?
Known better by his gamer tag Doorstop, Schmidt is the first professional athlete signed by the Cincinnati Fear, a team that competes in esports. It's a new kind of career emerging through the popularity of video games. For the best of the best, an athlete's paycheck can rival more traditional sports. According to esportsearnings.com, the top-ranked players can earn more than $1 million per year in prize money. And that doesn't include sponsorships, which is why recruitment is taking shape.
My mom was shocked.
Here. At high schools across the country, like Johnson High in Savannah, Georgia.
Esports is a relatively new aspect of athletics. A lot of people keep looking at it and go, oh, it's video games, but it's a multi-billion-dollar industry right now.
In 2018, the National Federation of State High School Associations, or NFHS, first recognized esports as an official sport. Since then, the NFHS teamed up with the company PlayVersus to create more than 8,600 esports programs in schools across the U.S.
What?
In October 2023, Lawrenceburg High School in Indiana opened its new gaming lab. And just like most high school sports, students can compete and earn scholarships for college. According to the NFHS, more than 200 colleges and universities offer nearly $15 million in esports scholarships.
Go high for guarding and then down B, up B.
And a sense of community is a big draw for students.
Honestly, I just love playing video games and I love competing, and I thought the esports team would give me something that I can bond with, like to fit in, and yeah, that's what it delivered.
God, we're so good! Being a part of the esports team is like having a family of people that are exactly like you.
Wow, looking at those games, we've come a long way from Duck Hunt and Space Invaders.
I was playing like Super Mario Brothers I was a kid. I mean, the technology is incredible. And you can make $1 million.
It's a lot of money.
An esport athlete, a lot of money.
It's a career to think about.
Very interesting.
According to the NFHS and PlayVersus, all games offered to high school students are either rated E for everyone or T for teens 13 and up. Players must be 13 years and older to compete in any high school league.
Popular games include League of Legends, Rocket League, and Super Smash Brothers. It's important to note the NFHS bans first-person shooter games like Call of Duty and Overwatch from high school leagues.
Still ahead, there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Holy mackerel, Mama.
But there's just one Miss Judy. Meet the one-of-a-kind captain entertaining families on the ocean. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, just 8% of boat captains in the U.S. are women.
This story is about one of those captains, and reporter Sam Bowman shows us why she's someone you won't forget.
Out on Wilmington Island, down a small dirt road, that's where you'll find her.
How's everybody doing today?
Really good.
Captain Judy Helmy.
Holy mackerel, Mama.
Who is admittedly one of a kind.
I've been incarcerated for that once, and that's another story. So.
Right, because this story is about her business, Miss Judy Charters.
This could be a long story, but I'm gonna make it short.
See, it all started before Judy was even born.
The company was started in 1948 by my father, who was retired from working for Al Capone in the 30s.
Yeah, that Al Capone.
He had him fixing up rum runner cars and installing the hiding holes in the cars for some of the bootleg liquor. And he worked for Al Capone for a while.
We'll leave that over to the side now because that's a whole nother story.
Now, where were we?
This is my 57th year.
Right, which means?
Well, ever since 14 I've been running, and the Coast Guard let me run. Of course it was illegal, but they knew Daddy, and things are different back then.
While some things have changed since Judy was 14.
If you came here in 1948, you might still see what you see here now, because we haven't changed anything.
That includes the experience out on the water.
We really do try to make a memory for you.
3, 2, 1.
And everybody on here is on board with my vision of what it should be like, which has got to be fun. It's not just fishing. You're supposed to be a good fisherman and say he was this big.
So although Judy clearly loves fish,
I'm still excited about catching fish because they always try to get away.
it would seem her greatest love, however, is something she reeled in a long time ago and has no plans of releasing anytime soon.
You know, as long as they'll put up with me, I might still run for a while.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching. Next time on Investigate TV Plus, added cost for parents.
They have their mortgage, their rent, gas has increased, groceries has increased.
Leave some students paying the price.
My lunch balance hit zero, so I didn't have enough money to eat lunch that day.
An in-depth look at a national student hunger crisis and what's being done to fix it.